Hi everyone, it's Janet here with Remarkably Created, and I'm going to give all of you a peek behind the curtains today. Many of you who follow me here at Remarkably Created are demonstrators, or you have other businesses where you do TikTok videos, you do Reels, you post videos to Instagram, you do YouTube and things like that, and you'll catch pictures every now and then of my video stands. So I do have 3 video stations, and I know it's a little excessive, but one of the things that I was committed to when we downsized and moved into the house that we're in now, and I got to, kind of plan a new studio, was to work smarter, not harder. And I found that depending on how I had my old videos set up, it would become cluttered, it would become crazy, and I wouldn't go online because it was a mess and I didn't want to clean it up. I was constantly bringing stuff to that surface. And so I asked myself in this new studio, what could I do to simplify that? In addition, there were times that I just simply wanted to pop on real quick. I just simply wanted to do a 2 or 3 minute tip because I was working on something and I said, oh my gosh, somebody else might want to know about that. So here in what I call my creative station, this is where I stand to work. I prefer to stand in. I have cabinets from Wayfair that are counter height that allow me to stand, or bar height, whatever they call them. And I have one Arkon. This is the one with the heavier base. It does have the iPod holder, and then it has the phone holder here. It can be adjusted. I have a little extra light here to shine some light down on that surface. And this allows me to pop on a lot of those really, really quick technique videos where I'm popping on real fast. You'll see me do from here. Now over here, this was the station that I originally built just to be the primary video station before I realized that having those other little studios are nice. So this here is a version of the one that I just showed you, but with a C-clamp on it, so it clamps to the end of the table. One other thing of note is I didn't want something in my studio that was permanently affixed to the wall because it limits how you could rearrange your studio. I've only been in this studio just over a year, and when you move in, it takes a while to become committed, to put that nail in the wall and hang a photo, to put those dishes in a cabinet, because you're still not sure of the flow. And so I knew I didn't want anything to be permanent. Plus, after having just moved out of a place that we listed and sold, it's a lot of work painting walls and filling holes and all of that kind of stuff. So I'm still a little sensitive to that. So in this case, I have that C-clamp, and that's why the other base is there. And then this holds, again, the iPad. I'll come around the other side in a minute. This was the newest addition from the company that I use my products from, called Arkon. Great, again, heavy base, lifts way out, extends way over, and it swings around. So I love that. Very, very easy to use. Little clamp here raises it up and down. It also tips, like I can tip it upright. Right now it's at a 90-degree angle. I can tip it up all the way so it's straight up and down. So if you wanted to tip it up and stand in front of it, you absolutely could use it that way. I have holders on the end of mine. I choose to use my cell phone, but this piece here is changeable, and you can put a DSLR camera on it instead. I just choose to work with that. And here you can see that my camera faces down, my iPod is here, and I can watch the comments coming in. I use a program called Switcher, but there's other programs out there, Minicam and things like that, where you can be filming and be watching at the same time. So I can watch the comments come in. I can actually watch myself too, to know if things are in camera and things like that. I love Switcher because it also makes sure that I'm always going the right way. Okay, I'm never turned around sideways, upside down, all of that kind of stuff. There's a lot of other bells and whistles where you could fade in, fade out. I could put my face up in the little corner, all of those kinds of things with Switcher. But anyway, so that's my main studio right here for filming. It's got the best light on it, and I'm still working on that. That's the last thing I need to commit to in this studio is lighting, because the lighting is just not the best, as you can see here. I do have some windows which create crazy shadows and things. But again, it's that, how am I going to use the studio? And I didn't want to spend a lot of money on it till I was sure. And then I do have one more stand. Over here, I have my die cutting, and I also have my embossing. And again, when I'm over here embossing and I want to show somebody those steps, and I want to do a quick video on that, I have this stand. Although these stands are really portable, I can pick it up and move it anywhere all over the studio. And that's what I was doing. I had one that I was just kind of walking around the studio instead of me always taking my stuff to it, if that makes sense. So those are the stands that I use. They're from a company called Arkon. They have a little extra. Now this base, if you have a really big DSLR or one of those phones that literally looks like an iPad, might get a little top heavy. So simply just putting a heavy book, putting a brick on it, something like that will keep it in place. Or again, in this case, I could put the C-clamp behind it, but I wanted some that are mobile that I could move somewhere else in the studio so that if I had guests here and we wanted to video over their shoulder, I could grab that and take it with me over to our crafting island. So those are my video setups. That's how I do it for right now. Again, the next step for me is lighting, but you heard all the reasons why I do mine this way. There's lots and lots of other ways that you can do it, but I will link my code Remarkably Created up in the description of this, and you can save 20% on any of these products. And I will answer any of the questions that you have, because they've really simplified my life and really made it really quick and easy for me just to hop on whenever it is that I want to do a quick visual tutorial, because we all know that videos really help us understand a whole lot better. So thanks, guys.